What's going on, Capoeira world? Dr. Kashishi here. As always, I say on this podcast, everyone gets interviewed and experience work for help our community grow, or our Capoeira community. So today, I have the pleasure to have a guest of one of my Capoeira brothers. When you travel and you meet new people and you get click with them, well, that's what happened here. And he's been doing capoeira for about 5 years, and I met him the first time I went to Chicago, and since then we became really homies. And he's a student of Professor Saracuru from Capoeira Brasil, downtown LA. And I want to introduce you to Bambu.
Yes, thank you, my
Yeah,
brother.
how's it going, man? How are you doing over there?
Man, good, man. Just enjoying the rain in
Uh,
Southern California.
nice, man. I hate you, man. It's cold in here, dude, in Indiana.
Oh man.
Man,
But
we
what's
we
it?
we got like 7 inches on Saturday.
What?
Yeah, it's cold here, dude.
Yeah, see the thing about living in LA is I'm spoiled as far as weather. Like rain and snow. I'll visit it, but it's really not my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I just I love my son and it's not sunny outside, so it's not much for me to do out there. So
Yeah, yeah.
raining.
Well, here you just gotta gear up, then go out, man, because it gets cold in here. Summer is fine, but oh man, winter. All
So
right, so I like to start every episode of
okay.
this with each guest story. So tell me how you started capoeira, how, when, the first time, from the first day until now.
Okay, so my I've tried capoeira a few times when I was young. Once when I was 16, one again like at 20 something years old, and then it really caught on when I met my professor, Professor Sarakuru.
Okay.
Um, I met him walking one day, and he was like, "Yo," in Pantera too, and they were like, "Why don't you come and try the class?" And I'm like, "All right,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll try
Walking
the
there.
class out."
Walking where?
They were walking down the block because I used to my mom lives in downtown,
Okay.
coincidentally, on the same block that they
Nice.
do. Right?
Nice.
So I just happened to be there, and yeah, I just to be just randomly just ran into them, and just the conversation got brought up. I was already doing martial arts at the time. I was already doing judo,
Oh, cool.
but I was kind of like falling like I like
Getting
I
bored.
more or less the injuries that you get from judo are real. Like you get
Oh,
back injuries,
yeah.
knees, and I just didn't see it like long term wise. Like, oh, does it make sense for me to continue and pursue doing judo?
Yeah.
Because I knew plenty of people that had like knee replacements,
Oh,
that
Jesus.
had like really really bad neck injuries. I was like, I don't know about this, man.
That's gonna
Like
hurt too much, man.
that's gonna hurt too much. I want to walk when I'm old, like I don't, like. But yeah. So I'm.
How old were you when they approached you and be like, "Hey,
I
start capoeira"?
mean, this was literally 5 years. I think
Nice.
it's either this month or next month officially. So it was around this time. But check this out. So when I started practicing with them, I went maybe like maybe a month,
Okay.
and I at the time I used to drive a moped. So I used to I
Oh,
used
that's
to
funny.
do so I used to do deliveries on moped, like pizza
Okay.
deliveries on a moped. So if you can imagine me in a little scooter, it's like 150 cc's, like yeah, going all over the place. And dude, you know when you're in flat ground, you don't go very fast, but when you're
Yeah.
going downhill, dude, you can
Oh,
kill it,
geez.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, so I was going downhill one time, and I thought I was such a badass too. I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude! I'm gonna go like 55 miles an hour on a 30-mile-an-hour street or whatever." And a car was about to like turn,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
and so the car did the turn, but there were pedestrians crossing the street, and I slammed to the car
Oh
like I hit the
man.
brakes, and I hit my head on the hood, and I had to go to the doctor. I had a concussion. I stopped
Oh,
training like I think it was like 3 or 4 months, and
oh
then I
man.
got back into it.
Estás en pie y cabezas.
Yeah, dude. So I mean, it was a crazy beginning. I wish I could be like, oh yeah, dude. Once I started capoeira, I never stopped. But no,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I had.
Oh, you
um,
had to.
no, I had to. It was a serious injury. I've never really experienced a concussion until then. That was pretty far out. I'm not gonna lie, because you kind of when you have a concussion, it's like you have headaches, and then you
Yeah.
stand up, and then you kind of dizzy a little bit, like for no reason. You're
Oh,
just. I was just at home, like this is like
okay.
2 days, 3 days after the accident.
Okay.
I would just stand up, and then all of a sudden I'll just be like dizzy. I'm like, what the hell is going on right now?
Yeah. I
So
never get a concussion before.
oh man, dude, this.
No, no.
It's, I'm not gonna lie though, it's kind of interesting, because
Okay.
it's like, what's happening? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you feel a little vulnerable, right? Because it's like when people are talking to you, like I felt like a little, like a invisible wall. Like I can hear them, but I was like I wasn't really quite understanding what they were saying. I
That's
was just,
crazy,
"Ah."
dude.
Dude, yeah, dude, it was
That's
wild,
crazy.
man. Yeah, and I actually have a scar inside my eye, like kind of like here, because I guess fragments of the helmet pierced
Ooh.
the inner part of my eye. So
Oh,
so I
wow.
have yeah, so now I have a badass scar, dude. It's fucking dope.
You just gotta be no, 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 man. That was a fight, man.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah,
got
yeah.
into a fight. All right,
Nah,
and
dude.
then they came to you and they were like, "Hey, join us."
Yeah, yeah, just they were just like try out the class, just see if you like it. I mean, I think that at the time, I wasn't really like I said, I wasn't really connecting with judo as much. It didn't feel um, it didn't feel like I wasn't motivated to train anymore.
Okay.
It was I think it was uh, I think at that point I kind of wanted to try something different, but I didn't know what, and I didn't think to, oh, why don't you go to a gym? Why don't you go
Yeah.
to a gym or go to I, because you know what I mean. All I knew when I got into judo was just judo.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was all I knew. I didn't know anything about MMA at the time. I didn't know anything about boxing,
Oh, that's
kickboxing.
crazy.
And so for Sarakuro and Pantera to come
Yeah.
and like yo, you want to try
Everything like clack, like click right there.
like literally in that instant, I'm like, um, I didn't think I didn't think too much of it. I was like I said, I was yearning to kind of be a part of something, but I
Yeah.
just didn't know what. And at the time I was kind of like anything that came, like anything that anybody, let's go out tonight. Yeah, let's go,
Yeah.
let's do it. Or
Nice.
let's, whatever, like a road trip. A road trip by yourself. I
Yeah.
drove to the beach one time.
How
And
far?
it's like we have Malibu and then Oxnard. It's like 45 minutes to an hour
Oh,
away from
okay.
where I
Okay.
live.
It's
They're not
not
that
far.
far, but you can camp there. And so
Nice.
so I went there. So I was like really at the time I was really trying to find myself. Who the hell, like who am I? And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
to have like Sarakuru and Patera to come up and they were like, yo, you wanna try out this capoeira class? I was just like, you know what? Yeah, yeah, let's
Nice.
do it. Yeah, yeah.
Were you ever like be like capoeira? What the heck is this, man?
I mean, when I was a kid, I was like 16 years old. I used to go to a after school program,
Okay.
and so they had many different things to offer this after. So they had like computer class, they have film editing class,
Nice.
they had sports at football, and then
Okay.
one time. An instructor of capoeira, and I feel bad because I don't remember who it was,
Okay. Okay.
but they were like, oh yeah, there's a Capoeira class, and I'm like, Capoeira, and I'm like, so I so I went and I tried it out, and I remember I liked it, but at the time, like as a kid,
Yeah.
you don't really commit to anything, like
Yeah.
you don't really like. For me at the time, I never really like school was like
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I would prefer like just hang out with the homies and just play some sports,
Yeah.
skateboard, whatever.
Yeah.
So when I tried it, it was like
Oh,
it
was
was
different.
cool, but it was just different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't have the same yearning I did when I did it again and I
Yeah.
joined Capoeira Brazil.
And then you didn't stop since then, right? You haven't stopped since that.
I haven't stopped. I haven't stopped. I think what happened this time around, I really felt that like I really felt like I was like kind of like a part of something, like
Okay.
really something kind of bigger than myself. I know it's gonna sound kind of cliche, like oh,
No,
it's
no.
something so much bigger than myself, but it's true. It really
It
did
is what it is.
feel,
That's how you
yeah,
feel like.
yeah, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
You train hard, and then we would hang out.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, I don't know these people, so I'm just, I felt like I was just like along for the ride,
Yeah.
and then before I knew it, it's 5 years. I'm
Yeah.
still
Yeah. And
there,
you just, I don't know. It's like you feel like home. I guess if you can call it like that.
dude.
It's just like
Oh,
different vibe.
yeah, it's a different feeling. It's almost tribal. It's
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
tribal.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
almost because of everything that goes on within. Because when you first start doing capoeira, you're so lost. Like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
lost. You don't know the movements. You don't know the language. You don't know anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, for me, when I first like really like soaked it in, it looked like a big old brick wall,
Yeah.
and 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 I was like, okay, do I go around it? Do I climb on top? How am I gonna tackle what's in front of me?
Yeah.
I could not wrap my head around it. It was,
Yeah, I
I
guess at the
mean,
beginning it's a couple is a little overwhelming, but
oh
once you start learning and understanding some like basic stuff, you're like, oh, it's actually
yeah,
pretty easy.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No,
And how many times per week do you train right now?
well, so that's a tough one because it depends on the week.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Okay, like
gotta work.
average.
Average, and
Yeah.
it used to be. I can tell you this. Right now, for sure, it's twice a week. For sure,
Okay, okay.
twice a week. Um, but I'm gonna start ramping it up. I used to train every day, like
Nice,
every day. Every
nice.
day it was. We would go, we would meet up. Like, yo, where we going?
Yeah,
Oh, let's go to Griffith Park. All right, cool. Let's do. You know what I mean? It
yeah,
was. But you know how life is sometimes. It's just you got to work. You got
yeah. I gotta take
parents.
care
You
of
got
stuff.
brothers and sisters, and you know what I mean. You gotta
Yeah,
like, because in the beginning of capoeira, that was it. That's
yeah,
all
yeah.
I was
Exactly.
doing.
Yeah, same, same. I was the same.
That was all I was doing. And then like last year, it started kind of like, oh yeah, I got a mom, I got a dad, my
Oh, that's
brother.
true.
Yeah, I got. Wait, I have to pay bills. Like I have to kind of
Yeah,
work.
pretty much. Yeah,
So it was now for me where I'm at is, as much as I love doing capoeira, it's like I have to balance everything else out too.
yeah, yeah,
I have to be disciplined with my time now because as you get older, you kind of have to start figuring some stuff
yeah,
out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
nothing.
And
Yeah.
what do you think capoeira is been helping you with something like you say like for example like um I like to say this because I'm very proud of this for
Yeah.
because when I started capoeira I was very shy kid. I was like those kind of kids that I didn't make eye contact. I was the last kid that sit in the corner, never talk to someone, never say hi to someone.
Yeah.
And capoeira kind of like broke the shell, and now he's like, dude, like shut up, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like switch the entire thing like 30, 60 degrees completely. Now I'm a completely different person. What do you think capoeira is been helping you
I mean,
on this?
I would definitely agree. I would definitely agree with that. aside from right now, how nervous I am right now,
Yeah,
but usually I'm very like, oh, what's up? What's happening? Just very out there, very outspoken. I mean, I try
yeah.
to be outspoken, but it really brought out my personality. It gave me
Same.
it
Yeah,
gave me like a like a a confidence that I've never had before, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. Same.
It really and strength, like a different kind of strength, like
Like a
you
self
know,
strength, if we can call it that way.
like, I don't. It's like I said, it's gonna the way we're gonna talk about capoeira is gonna be so cliche, like oh my god, but it's true. It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
All of those things, and even now, the way I the way I handle myself outside of capoeira is capoeira.
yeah.
It's really like when I go, like, let's say if I'm gonna do a job interview, I'm gonna go in there like more
With every.
confidently than I
Yeah,
with everything. You know what I mean? And it really creates a I mean, I've in my mind, I it it just gives me so much strength, and
yeah, yeah.
I never really had that before. Like I was such a like yourself, I was super shy. I was like bullied all
It's
the time.
crazy,
Like
dude. It's
I was
crazy.
that kid
Yeah,
like what's up? And I'm like, nah man, nowhere dog. Like, like and
yeah,
so
yeah,
it really to see the growth, it's like I
yeah.
just
The transformation is completely different.
it's crazy and it's still happening because
Yeah, same.
I'm only 5 years in.
Yeah,
Like, what's it gonna be like when I'm 10 years in or 15, 20 years in, And that's another part too, is I've never really committed myself to one thing. I've always like, because the way my mind works is like I'm all over the place.
okay.
I'm all, with everything that I do, I'm all like I'll take a little piece of here, I'll do a little bit of here, and then
Yeah,
then once I like, okay, cool, then I'll start going over there,
yeah.
like it with
Well,
with
that's probably you fit like pretty well in capoeira too, because well, everyone fits pretty good in capoeira,
yeah.
but uh, capoeira you gotta be everywhere. You know what I mean? You gotta move around. You never gonna stop thinking. You never stop moving.
There's too much to think about. There's
Yeah.
too much to think about. Like I of so 5 years ago, like my Spanish sucked, right?
Oh
But
really? Oh
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah, dude, my Spanish was really bad. And then once I started because I hear some words in Portuguese, and I'm like, wait
Yeah.
a minute, it sounds familiar. So the way my mind works is like, so if I hear Portuguese, so I will hear the word, and
Yeah.
then I have to change it to Spanish, and then from Spanish I have to change it to English. You know what I mean? So
Oh crazy. Okay.
it takes me an extra second to kind of process what people are saying. You know
Yeah.
that, and then now I'm noticing that I'm starting to mix my Spanish with Portuguese, which
Oh,
is
that's
really
like
fun.
I've been there.
Yeah, so I'll talk to my mom. My mom still speaks Spanish, and I'll
Yeah,
talk to her,
yeah.
and some Portuguese words will come out. She's like, what
What
is
are you
that?"
saying? Like, dude, what are you saying?
Dude. So I mean, I feel. I mean, dude, I'm so grateful.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what I really like. I think about all the experiences that I've had so far, and it's like damn, dude, I would have never done some of the things that I have done, if it wasn't for capoeira.
Yeah, same, same. Well, I have met so many people dude, on I've been doing capoeira for 18 years now.
I'm
Man,
saying, bro.
yeah, and man, is I don't even know how many people I know now. And like even in social media, when Facebook
Yeah,
started, and in person back in Venezuela, here in the U.S. on these 5 years here I have here in the U.S. I've met so many people just because capoeira. And
dude,
I love this, man.
dude. So I've growing up have always kind of like had my pocket of friends, right? It's like, oh, I
Same.
have my friends, I have my homies, like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, this is my,
yeah.
you know. And so for a long time, it was very hard for me to, when I, have make new friends, and you kind of have this kind of like, wait a minute, I just met you, dude. It's like
I know.
like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
it's a weird it's it's I think people that do the same thing are very like-minded.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
there's
yeah.
some people that kind of vibe on that same kind of, and then you become instant, as if like you've been friends forever. That's how I feel
Yeah,
sometimes.
exactly. Yeah. Well, that's what happened with us. Like the first time I met you, I was asking Jessica a little bit ago before the interview. I was
Mm.
asking her like I don't even remember where I met Bamboo. Was in Chicago, was in LA, and then she was like, no, the first time was in Chicago when we stayed with Pai Santo at his
Yeah.
house. I was like, oh, that's true. Man, and then from there, that was like crazy. Like we met, we talk, we like every year, and even when we can be like some period
Yeah.
of time without talking, when we see each other, like what's up, me, what's up, man? He's just cool, man.
It is, and it for me, like I have to practice. Like there's, you know what I mean. Right now, I think the next lesson for me is to kind of try to maintain these new friendships. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because not to get lost with distance. You know, to really kind of open up and like call just
yeah,
hey
yeah,
what's up. Because
yeah, yeah,
sometimes I get like a little like intimidated. I don't because like I have so much things going on in my life
yeah,
here in
yeah,
Los
yeah.
Angeles,
We get
and
to like caught up into like busy stuff and life stuff and
just life stuff. And I've always been the kind of guy like even when kind of like bad things are happening, I don't want to talk about the bad things. You know what I mean?
no,
And
of
I
course,
especially
of course.
don't want to do it with friends that I haven't seen in a long time. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
but I'm still learning. Like I said, I'm still learning like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot.
oh, it's a process.
It's
I think it's a process that never stops.
I mean, I hope so, because it
Yeah,
keeps like,
yeah,
it's exciting every time. Like every day, it's exciting
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
before, before, because I can tell you like from my experience in judo, like in judo, it was kind of like you go to the dojo, you train for 2 hours, you bow, you give respects to the room, and then you
You
leave,
give
and
it
then
up
that's it.
and then you go back
You
home.
get beat up, and then you go home. And then you're home licking your wounds. You're on the. I used to just like fall on the floor and just like lay on the floor. I just like, oh
Oh
man.
man, all beat
But
up. Oh man,
I'll beat
that's
up.
hard.
And so, but the difference in capoeira is like, okay, we're done training.
Yeah,
So what's next? What are we gonna do
yeah,
next?
yeah,
So it's like it doesn't stop.
yeah, yeah.
And
Let's practice more movements.
let's practice more movements. Oh, let's. You guys hungry? Let's
Yeah,
go eat.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you
Where
know
are
what
you
I
guys
mean?
gonna eat? Yeah.
Where are you guys gonna eat? Um, I'm not gonna lie though. One thing that I've been practicing a lot of has been like the selfies. You know what I mean? Like since I started doing capoeira, I've taken so many selfies. Like,
I know
guys,
everything.
let's take a picture here. Let's take a picture there. Like,
I know.
man, but it's
Y-
important to have pictures because
It is, it is. It's
you want to see
yeah,
them down the line. But
yeah,
I have
yeah.
so many at this point. I have so many. It's
I
like,
know.
man, I don't even have space for them anymore.
And for now coming to different subject, and
Yeah,
if you have to describe capoeira with one word, which word it would be?
damn, that's a tough one. It's tough. But if I had to put it in one word, I'd probably say inspiring.
Inspiring. Nice, nice. That's a good one. I don't think it's that right or wrong question answer. It's just however like whatever you feel like.
Yeah, man.
That's nice. I like that one though.
It's like you said, man. You've been in it for 18 years. Like, does it still feel humongous to you? Like, does it still feel like,
Oh
damn,
man, yeah.
like
I
that's
just feel like
so.
I don't know anything. And it's like sometimes I see those masters and I see like man like it's still like stuff that I don't know. It's the stuff that I want to know. And
After 18 years?
yeah, and it's just like I guess with time I get more curious and like how this works. And then I go from because once you become instructor or you not you become instructor, it's like once you step into the instruction or like teaching, is different because you gotta flip it.
Yeah.
You're gonna see stuff that from different perspective. So now you gotta teach what you know to people, but how you're gonna teach if you don't really know it? You know what I mean? And that, at least from for my perspective, like how do I teach someone if I don't know how to do it? Like how do I teach beating ball if I don't know how to do it? Oh, I know how to play beating ball, but it'd be like, you know what I mean? Those questions are in my head. Like I have to know this stuff for me to teach it. If no, how what is the point of me be teaching? It's like someone is gonna go. You're gonna go to school to college to be a doctor, but the doctor doesn't know how to use I don't know, like whatever medicine or the tools when you getting a surgery or opening our body. You know what I mean? They have to know how to do it. So
Yeah.
that's how I feel.
Well,
And
was it intimidating? Was it intimidating for you when you reached like a level, like how do I say this? Like when you knew it was getting near the time where you have to start teaching, like was that intimidating? Was that transformation intimidating to you? Like, oh man, I need to start, I gotta have a class now and I don't know how to,
yeah,
you know what I mean? How
oh,
was that? Well, how was it
yeah.
like?
Well, uh, I think capoeira teaching is an option. Is
Mm,
your option? You know what I mean? Is a choice. So like you teach if you want to teach, and I like teaching. I love seeing people progressing and learning new stuff and be like when they don't know how to do a U, then they start doing a U on the then they start doing ausimao. It's like, dude, that's nice. I teach
yeah,
this person how to do it.
yeah,
And yes, it was intimidating because that then that kid, that shy kid, hit me in the back and the head. Bah! It's like, man, now I gotta sing in the hall, like I gotta guide a class. I gotta talk in front of people, and I gotta step completely out of my comfort zone. So it's
yeah.
like it's intimidating, but it's satisfaction. The satisfaction that I get out of that is
Mm,
bigger than the intimidation. So I like to talking to people, and I remember probably on 2007 2008 I did a presentation on myself with my on my own, and
mm,
to people that I was out to teach, and I was three people and myself, and they were beginners. Then I had to explain probably to like 80 people what
damn.
capoeira is and what was why we were doing what we were doing. And I was shaking, man. That was the first time I talked to so many people. I was shaking, but I got this, man. I got you know. And
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
after you do it, you like it's actually not that bad. It's actually pretty nice. It's
yeah,
exciting. You know what I mean? And I
yeah,
don't know. I like talking to people. And
yeah.
with the years, I guess I become less shy, and I don't really care right now.
Yeah. See, for me, I'm so grateful to like I love being a beginner. Like I love it. I
Yeah,
love,
yeah, yeah,
I don't have like right now like the beating bow is so intimidating, like
yeah,
leading a holla is intimidating.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
teaching somebody a move is intimidating because it's like, dude, do I even know how to do it right? Like I don't even,
yeah,
so
yeah,
for me, the idea of like teaching is like so foreign. So
yeah,
it's like, and then like I like helping my friends, but to kind of like present movements and do all that stuff, like it's so scary. It's still scary for me,
yeah.
So
But
I
the good thing about like knowing those kind of stuff, and you as a student, if you learn like basic stuff and you know your basic,
yeah,
when someone new comes to class and you got to bring those new people up. You know what I mean? You got to start bringing those people to
yeah,
kind of like challenging them to like start like bringing them their
yeah,
level up. So like if you learn how to kind of like even pass the basics and learn
yeah,
the basics, you can help a lot you professor or you instructor, because
mm,
you instructor, when you step on this side, you instructor or you professor, they focus on like how to bring you level up, but also
yeah,
don't forget about the beginners. So
mm,
if the class helps the instructor or the professor or the master to bring that person up, everything becomes easier and everyone's want to level up faster. And
Mhm.
is a community thing. So like if everyone
Yeah,
help everyone, is way easier on everybody's side.
yeah. No, I feel that, and it kind of creates like a real like brotherhood amongst the
Yeah,
people
yeah,
in class,
exactly.
and I mean, I think that's why when I first started doing capoeira, I think that's what it like I felt. I was part of a team. I was part of something that really like, Sadhguru the beast, something
Yeah, he's
for me to inspire to be hopefully one day, like,
yeah,
and just work my ass off. And but it was so like it was so challenging but so nurturing in the same time,
yeah, yeah,
to kind of it helped me in so many different ways. So like for me, like if I didn't have capoeira, I don't know where I'd be right now, because it's, so many, like I'm just for myself,
yeah,
I'm from LA, from downtown LA, South Central, like Koreatown. Had I had more direction, maybe if I would have joined capoeira sooner. That's my one regret. Like,
yeah, yeah.
like why didn't I stick with it when I was 16? Like why didn't I, you know,
But
it,
if you stick with it when you were 16, you don't know the people you know right now.
That's true too. That's true too. That's true too. But it's always gonna be in the back
Yeah,
of my
yeah.
head. Like, what if I would have started? Because I'm 33 now, so I
Okay.
have to think. I have to think in terms of like, okay, how long am I gonna still be able to move and train
Yeah,
the way I can do now? Like, because it's real. When you're in
yeah,
your 20s, you don't think about it too much, but when you're in
yeah,
your 30s and you're kind of creeping a
yeah. And you're
little
like,
every
oh man, I
year.
think I gotta stretch more.
Yeah, just yeah, 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 yeah. So it's like, so that's why I felt kind of like, okay, now is the time to really focus on one thing, and that's why I really, no matter what was going on in my life, I try to for sure go to class at least
Yeah,
twice, right? At least
nice,
those two times. Those are my meditation times. That is
nice.
my way to get my peace,
Yeah.
because you know as well as I do, if you don't train for 1 week, you're not a
Ah,
happy
you
camper.
feel yeah, yeah. You feel bad, man.
You feel bad, you feel
Yeah, yeah,
anxious, you have a lot of like negative emotions, and you don't know why, but then
yeah.
but then you train and you're like, oh
You feel
yeah,
released. Yeah, you're feeling
yeah,
happy. Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
I have to, no matter how, no, if I'm working like 50, 60 hours a week, at least go to class twice, at least
yeah,
twice. Don't forget that, I forget sometimes that, yeah, I have things that I have to do. I have to pay my bills. I have family things that I have to do. I have nieces
yeah,
and nephews that I have to help. But no matter what, don't forget what you love to do. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. Save a little time for yourself.
it's a little bit of time, at least 2 hours a week, because it's so easy to just get caught up with life.
It
It's
is.
so
Yeah,
easy. You don't even think about how much time passes like quick in an
yeah,
instant.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
That's true.
it's already 5 years.
I know.
For me, it's already 5 years, bro.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know
You
how it
18,
is. Yeah, yeah.
you're,
When I
you're
started, dude, when I started, I was like, let's see how I like it.
yeah.
And today, I'm like, I think I like it. It's like yeah, and I still tell my wife like, dude, he's like, I've been doing this for 18 years. He's like so real, like I didn't know I didn't even know where those 18 years passed so fast.
Yeah, and it's though, and as we get older, we get more and more perspective. Like,
Yeah,
we get more and more life. So, and we could always think back. I can still remember when I was 16. 15
same,
years
same.
is,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I remember certain experiences,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm just
same.
like, I can't believe it's been that long, you know? That's
Yeah, dude.
and so it's no matter I have to constantly remind myself, like, no matter what's going on, I have to go to class. I
Yeah,
you know, I
yeah,
have to
yeah,
do at least my 2 days. If I can do 4 right now, awesome.
Oh, that would be beautiful then.
That would be great, right? If
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I if I can do at least 15 minutes every day before I go to work, you
yeah,
know. But you know how it is. You wake up at like
yeah,
6 in the morning. You're like, man, I don't know about this right now. So it's like you kind of, you and sometimes like for me, like I'll work like a 12-hour shift.
yeah.
Like man, I'm tired. You
Of
know.
course, yeah.
So
You just wanna go
so
home and lay on the
just
ground
want
or
to go
something.
home, man. Just lay on the couch on the floor.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter, man.
yeah.
And then wake up and then you want to train, but you're like, I just did it tomorrow. You know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's easy.
But
That's easy.
this I was having this conversation about like people wanting to train capoeira and
Yeah.
like people say like, oh, I don't have time to go train or whatever situation, and I was talking to this guy, and we were like, well, capoeira is not only going to class. You can go train capoeira anytime, and you can go train even if you have a pandero. Tell Sarakuru to and see if he can find a pandero for you, and you buy for him, and just practice pandero when you are home, or if you are reading something, or try to learn a song, or try to learn how to do berimbau. It's something always that you can be learning about capoeira. You know what I mean?
It never stops. And
Yeah,
but I think the hard part is just that sponsoring thought. You have to like a little seed. You have to put it in your head. Like, all right, I know that I need to do something that I love, at
yeah,
least an hour, at least an hour a
yeah,
day.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and
yeah,
if I can't do it, you have to make a schedule, and just be like, all right, Tuesday and Thursday from 8 to 9. I don't care what I'm doing. I'm gonna go to class, and then that's
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
I don't, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking about schedule, how are you planning on going to any like traveling or events
So man, there's the
for this
big
year?
one for this year is in July. Mr. Paulino Savia is having his batizado
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah,
in Brazil.
yeah, yeah.
So that ticket is not cheap. So I think that's
I,
gonna be like the one for this year. You know what I'm saying? You feel
yeah,
me though? Because
yeah,
you know
yeah,
it.
man. And
I was
how
checking
many?
out.
Yeah, it's expensive, man. Get it's well from here at least
Yeah.
is pricey. And how many times have you traveled like on these 5 years? Like, I mean, you don't have to tell me like a specific number, but
No, I
you
mean,
remember.
I've been,
Even
I go
hit
to
there in like locally California there.
like locally. Chicago, San Francisco, San Diego, Mexicali. I went to Colombia a couple years ago, which was like,
Nice.
yeah. So that one,
I wanna go there.
you you know what? There's so much to be learned, like from traveling. Like
Yeah,
like you literally get like a huge download because I have my perspective here in LA. Like
yeah,
I know I have my lifestyle. I how I live my life, how just my day to day, and
yeah,
to like travel to a different country and to meet like a different set of like just the way how people just do things in their day to day
yeah, yeah.
life.
Oh
And
yeah,
I literally just you go over there, you just plug yourself in, and you're just like, all right, I'm here.
yeah,
But
exactly. Yeah.
you learn so much. I mean, one thing that I learned when I went to Colombia is that my Spanish sucks, right? Because LA Spanish and Colombian Spanish are completely different.
Yeah, yeah,
So
they are.
communication was a little iffy. Like it was like people were talking. They were like they couldn't believe I spoke Spanish, but then that was it because they'll start talking to me and I'm just like blank face trying to fit. I because it's like I know what they're saying but I don't know what they're saying, because
Yeah,
there's,
yeah.
it's such the
You
way they
start like,
speak is so
what should I
beautiful.
say? What should I say? What should I say?
Yeah, it's like, and I'm pretty sure that my Spanish when I was over there seemed like a
Yeah,
little kid Spanish. Like, oh, look at it. He says he speaks Spanish, but he speaks Spanish like a little kid, man. Like, I don't know about, you know what I mean? Like, and so that was so every time I spoke with somebody, that kept going in my head.
yeah.
So you know what I mean? You're kind of like, man, I don't even want to try anymore, man. Like,
And
no, but you
yeah, yeah. Have you tried to like find tickets through Colombia to Brazil?
No, no, I haven't. I haven't. It's been the last couple weeks have been really hectic as far as work.
Okay.
So man, my time is ju- I this this week is great. Like this week is amazing because now I made my schedule and now I have a little more free time. Like as of like today, like today was
Nice.
just like finally. So now I get to create my schedule. I get to look into tickets and really figure out what I'm gonna do and how, because it has to happen no matter what. Like it has to. I have to go to Brazil. Like it has to
Yeah.
happen. I don't know how.
It is a really nice experience. I haven't been there, but I would love to be there, man. And I so many people, so many people from all around the world.
Yeah,
And
everybody's going.
yeah, man. It's just
Everybody.
nice. It's many people, so many people. And now changing a little bit subject to music. What is your favorite song? Like at least a song that you on top of your head.
um, I mean, there's a lot of songs out there. Um, I usually like very simple songs, just like the la
Yeah, yeah.
la.
Corridos,
It's
yeah.
something. It's something about the sound that just pumps me up, and I'm just like, all right, we're about to play, dude. Like it's about to go down right now, you know. So
I want to play fast.
I play fast and you know I like hearing songs that like kind of have like that like very simple but very powerful at
Like
the same
pump,
time.
yeah,
Like just pumped.
yeah.
Man, there's so many songs out there. I'm too nervous to think of one right now. Like,
That's all right.
no,
That's all right.
but the La La Way, like La La Way, like
Yeah, yeah,
something about it. You hear it in every hall, though, right? So
yeah,
you know it's gonna go down. It's only a
yeah,
matter of time.
yeah,
So when it does, like I already kind of like, all right, it's in my head. Like once this song comes, it's like, all right, it's on, dude.
yeah. No, the
So
energy is pretty cool. Like pumps the energy up.
and that's something that I've never really thought about until I experienced a Hoda.
Yeah,
I never, and because Professor Sadhguru is always like, man, you guys, when you're in the Hoda, just as the instruments is important, the people outside the Hoda is important too.
yeah, yeah,
Like everybody singing, everybody clapping, and it does kind of elevate things to the next
yeah,
level.
yeah. Oh, for sure, yeah. And once you're in the
Yeah.
hall and you have all the energy, is you start doing stuff that you didn't even know that you could do. That you try and you like, I didn't know I can do this, man.
Dude, it's crazy, and
It is.
and the feeling is undescribable because it's almost like the best way I could describe the feeling of a Hoda is, you remember that show Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
You remember how Goku used to power up like
Ah, yeah.
that's how I feel when I'm in the Hoda. Like when everybody's clapping and
Yeah.
singing and sweating and there's like smells all over the
Yeah.
place, and you're just like it's raw. It's like
Yeah.
yes, it's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
The energy is really good.
when it's good, it's
Yeah, it's
man,
awesome,
you
man.
feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
And you see everyone jumping.
it's almost like a drug.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? It's almost like a drug. It's like it's almost like I'm chasing that. Whatever
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is, every time I go to a hall, I'm like, man, I hope,
I'm
you
just
know,
waiting for that energy, man.
for that energy. Because it's it's healing. It's healing
Yeah.
in such a it's such a that's why I feel like it's so primitive almost, that
Yeah.
feeling. Like it's just
Yeah.
raw
Yeah. And
emotions.
I remember is the energy is so crazy because I remember long time ago. Uh, I used to do back in Venezuela. I used to have two classes on one day because we were a lot of people. So it was one class of four and one class of six. So I used to get there like at 2:30, kind of. Then I started doing movements, did a class, then did the next class, and did
Yeah.
both hodas. And both hodas was like pump, right? And man, it's like it's pretty much 6 hours of just training. And I just go home. I lay on my bed. I wasn't tired, man. I was like, this is awesome. It's just like I'm not tired.
Yeah,
It's like my muscles, anything.
dude.
I just
And
can keep going.
And that's the one thing I truly do love about capoeira is it's sustainable.
Yeah,
Like in terms of like, because I've done boxing before, right?
yeah,
So I trained boxing, I did sparring. When you spar, like you're really hitting something, you know what I mean? You're really going at
yeah,
it, right?
yeah,
After a sparring session, you're like, oh fuck, whatever,
yeah,
and same thing with judo. Same thing. When you spar, it's like, man, it's so painful. It's fun. It's
yeah.
fun. It's painful. But capoeira is like when you're done playing, you want to
You just
play
like
more.
you like a little kid, like
Yeah, you're like a little kid. And I think that's so important to never lose that. Never lose that feeling. That little kid inside.
yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
has a little
same.
kid, right?
Yeah,
You
oh
know,
yeah,
don't I think that's so important to never lose that inner kid because once you know what I mean,
oh yeah,
it's so easy to get lost. It's so easy to like just like
yeah,
lose who you really are,
yeah,
life circumstances, whatever the case may be. And like for me, that's what keeps me going back. It's just that feeling like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. Like, like, oh, I'm about to
yeah.
like see my friends. Yo, I'm about to like dude, I freaking love karaoke. Like I love karaoke. Like that is my jam.
Oh
So
yeah,
for me, it was kind of like all these elements coming together and just like a martial like so it's a martial art. Okay, dude, I
martial
love
art with
martial.
karaoke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
martial art with karaoke, and then you get to play some instruments.
nice.
You
Yeah,
know, hitting the. You get. There's so many different elements that's a part of it that I don't see like I can never see myself not doing it at this
okay,
point.
that's awesome.
At, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I,
same.
I'm sure it's the same with you. The same with
Yeah.
you. Like,
Oh yeah,
dude, once you saw it, you were like, what? And
yeah.
then
No, man.
all the homies that you made, you know what I mean? It's a special feeling, and
Yeah, yeah, it is.
I I wish more and more people can have that feeling,
Oh
and it's
yeah,
a shame.
that's why I want to bring more people to our community because it's just different and it's hard to explain it, put it into words. If you haven't experienced it, so it's hard to explain it to someone and be like, man, capoeira, just try. I think that's
Yeah,
the only thing I can say. Just like, man, you just gotta try, and I know you're gonna like it.
it's so important. It's so important for so many different reasons because
Yeah,
it, everybody needs to do something they suck at. It's
that's
so
true.
important.
That's
You
true.
have to do something that you suck at, and you have to know what it feels like to like through work and dedication, and you'll have like little moments of inspiration, like I the Jose Mound, yes, finally,
Yeah, yeah,
little moments of inspiration. Like I
yeah,
think it's so important that everybody kind of you know sucks at something and then get better
yeah,
at it. Such
yeah.
an
That's true.
important lesson. Such an
Yeah,
important. I think as a person, for me, I need to struggle.
yeah,
I need
yeah,
to. I need to know. Okay, well, I suck now, but if I work really hard at it, I can get better. It is
oh yeah,
possible.
oh yeah. That's for
Uh,
sure.
and I need to. And you can take that lesson and just throw it in your life,
Yeah,
whatever the case may be. Whatever. Oh, a
yeah,
new job. like
yeah,
something.
yeah.
It's
And
so
do you think that that would be like a good advice for a beginner, or uh what advice would you give to a beginner, someone who's starting today?
just. I mean, just as hard as it's gonna be tough in the beginning. It always
Yeah,
is, but that's the fun part, you
yeah,
know. Because in the future, when I'm sure you've experienced this. Like you remember when it was so hard.
yeah,
You remember like the struggle, like trying to do these moves, trying to figure out how to play the instruments, trying to
yeah,
speak the
yeah,
language. It was
yeah. It
so
was.
hard, but you can, you love those moments.
Yeah,
Those moments are kind of like they're gonna stay with you forever. Like, man, I remember when I was so whack at this. Like, oh, it makes you feel proud.
yeah,
It gives you like a sense of accomplishment, and that's everybody needs to feel that. That
yeah,
regardless of like where you are, you can get better. You can do better. You can be better. you know?
Yeah.
And just tough it out and just keep going to class, don't stop. Because if you do, then it's gonna be one of those regrets. Like, imagine if I went to Sara Cruz class and I was just like, man, this is too hard. I don't want to go anymore. Then I would have never met none of the friends that I've had. I've never would have gone to the places that I've been. I would have never experienced the things that I have experienced already that are like going to be a part of me for the rest of my life. Like if I
Yeah.
would have just been like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. It's too hard. I'm done. You
Yeah.
know,
We just couple classes.
I would. This would be my greatest regret. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so
Because
and so
you know
I mean,
where you're gonna be if you don't step into a road.
just
Yeah.
try, just keep
Yeah.
trying. Don't stop trying. Because the
Yeah.
moment you stop trying, you stop living.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's for sure.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Just
Yeah.
keep
And
trying.
so to like to end up and to like finish. Um. Well, what are your social medias? Like how people can find you? Like people can see how you or follow your journey and like Facebook and Instagram, right? You have to.
Yeah, I do. I do have Facebook. I do have Instagram. So I am Bamboo Morales on Facebook and Instagram. You can find me there. Like I said, I'm still a newbie, so I don't know why they're going to be
No,
following me. You know what
no,
I'm
that's okay.
saying?
That's okay. That's okay. Is for you have to start somewhere. You know what I mean?
You have to start somewhere.
And you don't know if you probably inspire someone out there. You know what I mean? And probably because sometimes inspiration is kind of like a silence. Sometimes you inspire people and you don't know because but it's better try to inspire people than just lay back and don't inspire anyone.
No, that's true. That's true. That's true. And no, you're right. No, but
Yeah.
it's intimidating. It's intimidating. I thought, like, wait, like, no, don't look up to me. I'm the worst guy right now, man. Like, I
No,
suck.
no. I don't think there is a I don't think there is a worst or best. It's just like how many times you train, you know, and you
No,
just
that's
gotta
true.
get better. You just gotta get better, and that's probably self motivation too. Like, okay, I gotta get this movement until I get it, so I gotta post a better video.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, in life, you know, life is about learning. You know,
Oh yeah,
and I don't think, however, like as you get older, I don't think that ever stops. I don't think you. I mean, I have friends that are way older than me, and they're still learning. So I
oh
think
yeah,
the process, I think until like I'm 80, 90, 100, hopefully, I'm gonna still be learning,
oh yeah,
and I just have to remember not to forget that.
yeah.
That there's
You gotta be hungry for
You gotta
knowledge.
be hungry for more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always, always. Well, man, thank you so much. I appreciate it for sharing all your experience. It was fun. I'm pretty sure here one day I'm gonna be like, now let's interview Instructor Bambu.
Oh man. No.
That's coming one
I
day.
didn't,
I'm sure that's
dude.
coming one day.
It's like years. That's like 20 years from now, bro.
Oh, but still 20 years, I'll be here, man.
All right, let's do it. Let's do
Let's
it.
do it,
I'm
man.
ready.
Yes, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it a lot, and well, I'm pretty sure I will see you soon.
No, and let me just say, dude. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of everything that you're doing right now.
Thank you,
All
thank
the
you,
work that you're putting into this. I can tell, when we first talked, I told you, like, man, I can tell you've been putting in a lot of work at this.
thank you.
I mean, thank you for even considering me. Like,
Of course.
I really, man, that's all. I'm like, oh, what, me,
Yeah,
real?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Everyone, man, everyone.
uh, I truly do appreciate that. And yeah, man, you are my brother from another mother. Man,
Thank you,
keep
thank
doing
you,
what you're doing, man.
thank you,
Keep doing it.
thank you, man. Thank you for the kind words, and I'm for sure, I'm keeping those words.
Yeah, man.
Yes. All right. Thank you, man.
Hey, just so you know, I put on the special Hawaiian shirt for this.
Oh, that's true. The next time. All right, man. Thank you.